Hello, I'm Matt Armstrong and this is my new workshop, which Beta Tools have completely kitted out. We're about to go inside and take a look at it. So I rebuild crash damaged cars. After I rebuild them, I tend to take them on road trips. I either keep them, end up raffling off to my subscribers as well. All of it I film and edit and put on YouTube. Way before all of this, I used to be a professional BMX rider, and to get into competitions, I used to have to film myself riding to see whether you're sort of good enough to get into that competition. And then from there, I started uploading them onto YouTube, and then bit by bit, I started talking to the camera more, sharing a bit more of like my personal life on there, and at the same time, sharing a bit more about my interest in cars, and it sort of escalated from there. So really it started probably from when I was around 15 years old to now being 31, I think I am. So the cars I worked on has really varied from the very start when I was working on my driveway, from Audi TTs, and then it sort of escalated from there. We went on to Bentleys, to Rolls Royces. We've recently finished Rashford's old Rolls Royce Wraith. We're going to Rolls Royce Cullinans, Lamborghinis, McLarens, Ferraris. So it's completely escalated and changed from starting on the driveway to now in this huge workshop. My favorite project is got to be between two cars. My all-time dream car was the Lamborghini Murcielago, which is naturally aspirated V12 engine. The doors go up. It's just the pinnacle of Lamborghini. But then also at the same time, I did a Ferrari F430, and we rebuilt the engine on that. We rebuilt pretty much the full car, the bodywork, the whole interior. And at the end, I got to give it to my dad, which made it that extra little bit special. This garage was something that, well, I never thought I'd ever be in, something this big. It all started from the driveway. And then from there, when I quit my job to do this full time, I thought I needed a space undercover to film and to work on the cars when the weather's bad, which is 99% of the weekends in the UK. So I ended up with a small garage to start with, and things escalated. It got bigger and bigger, and I was putting out videos every single week and working as hard as I can to get the videos out. It got to a point where we was wasting so much time taking cars on and off the ramp because we only had one lift in the old place that I had to go and look for a bigger place. This spot came up about a year ago. I thought I've got to take the opportunity and take the step to the next level. That's exactly what we did. Recently, I went to Aston Martin, the F1 Centre at Silverstone, and I noticed they had U-shaped working bays. And I thought it worked perfectly. You take some suspension off the car, you turn around, you can put it on the workbench. Your tools are always within touching distance. So I wanted to do exactly the same, but we've sort of widened it a bit to allow for cameras. This works perfectly now for filming and being efficient. So I chose Beta Tools to kit out the whole place, and it all kind of stems back from my dad. My dad started working with me when I first picked up the Lamborghini Murcielago a few years ago, and he wanted to help me rebuild the engine. He's always been a mobile mechanic and had his own business himself, and recently retired, and now he's come out of retirement to help me do all this. But I think he's really enjoying it. But every single day we've got our hands on tools. So a lot of conversation is shared between what's good, what's bad, what we like and what we don't like. And Beta was one of the ones that when I needed a bit of kit, which I haven't got in my own workshop, my dad always used to pick it up from his house, and it always used to be Beta, and it used to be ancient stuff, really old stuff. But that just proved to me that the stuff was really good. And if it's lasted that long, it's got to be good. And my dad sort of steered me in the way with Beta Tools, and I wouldn't turn around now because it's fully kitted out the whole workshop. We've been in here maybe a couple of weeks working on the cars. Best thing are the movable cabs, so we can put them into the little U-shaped workbenches that we've got at the minute, so they look nice and neat. But at the same time, I've been pulling them down by the side of the car when we're working on them, and there's got all foam cutouts. As you can imagine, there's a fair few of us working on the cars, and a lot of us get blamed for missing tools, but because I've got all the foam cutouts in the rolling cabs, we know exactly what's missing and who's had it. There's no one to blame now because they are cut out and we know what exactly is missing. Obviously the cars are getting crazier and more expensive and more rare, which is pushing my absolute limits. At the minute, we're rebuilding a hybrid Lamborghini, which is something that I've never dreamed of doing ever before, and we're learning as we go along. But something people may have seen is that I've recently started doing my licensing helicoptering. So I want to learn how to fly, and we've learned as well, you're not allowed to actually work on your own helicopter, but there's certain ways and certain things that we can do to get into that side of things, and that would be amazing. We've now got a big enough space to potentially fit a helicopter in, which would be cool. So we'll stay tuned for that.